Climate change means water. Sometimes it's the lack of water that leads to droughts, but some other times it is the abundance of water that becomes a problem. A lot of water. The losses of flooding in the US represent the second largest damages associated to natural disasters, and the fourth in terms of fatalities. But what can we do to prepare for the upcoming dangers? Are you prepared? Is your family prepared? What about your community, our cities, and the country? Since the 80s, the number of flooding events in the US that cost at least $1 billion in damages have been more and more frequent. The monetary cost follows an even more dramatic pattern. I would like to present a small solution. We need to get ready for the rising tide. Here in Purdue, we are working on a model that aims at showing where and why could the damages from flooding take place. Houses, businesses, roads, and more importantly, people are some of the targets of flooding damage. These losses depend on three main factors: hazard, or the probability and magnitude of a climatic event; wealth exposure, or the intrinsic value of assets; and vulnerability, or how well people are prepared. We gather dense geographic data from the reports of property and human damages from the Spatial Hazard Events and Losses database for the US. We also use the water discharge of major rivers from a recognized hydrology model of water balance, the counts of houses in the United States Census Bureau, and the frequency of climatic reports in the Storm Events database of NOAA. Using this data, we estimated the impact of small changes in the three factors of flooding risk. These changes, or marginal effects, are calculated relative to the current situation of all risk factors. First, we have the impact of the most representative variable of hazard, the number of days per year with extreme water discharge. The map mirrors the distribution of the Mississippi River system, but it also highlights some other regions like Washington State. Now, you can see the impact of building houses. The shock concentrates on the west and east coasts, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan. Finally, this map shows one variable of vulnerability, the historic accounts of fatalities associated to flooding. It looks minor in comparison, but still relevant, especially when we combine all hazard, exposure, and vulnerability variables and color the one type of risk that has the highest impact. So, where do you live? Our results are still preliminary, but a few general tendencies can be discerned. First, highly populated cities on the coast should be careful at evaluating new construction permits. Also, locations in close relationship with water might experience harsher damages due to climate change. Finally, organized communities that save lives or reduce overall harm to people seem to be better prepared to withstand property damage. Gracias.